listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The League After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The League.
That was loud.
Last episode.
The finale. So sad.
Hashtag sad.
Hashtag. Hey guys, welcome back for the League After Show, Season 5, Episode 11 and 12. 11 was called Baby Geoffrey Jesus, and 12, the 8 Defensive Points of Hanukkah. I'm your host, Jenifer Golden, and with me I have my lovely co-host,
Lauren Leonelli.
I like that you sing your name.
I just felt a little musical.
Well, and these episodes were kind of musical,
I
so
know.
it's fitting.
I
Yeah.
tie everything. I'm really smart like that.
You are. I like it. That's why.
That's why we're so good together.
Yeah.
Because I'm the smart one and you're the not as smart one.
I was going to say pretty.
I was going to too, but then I didn't want to say that because it's not true.
Oh, rude.
I'm just kidding.
Right, because I'm the funny one.
No, she is gorge, obviously.
Thanks. You are too.
We're so nice to each other when we're not fighting
yeah.
about what's happening in the episode. No, we don't. I know. No, we don't fight. We're just
No.
having discussions.
We're just passionate about the things we are passionate about.
That's true, and we are passionate about the league.
Totally passionate.
I talk about this show to everybody. By the way,
Can you not help but like be like, oh, my friend Jenny and my friend Ruxin?
I
and,
like the people that I'm in the fantasy football league with. Oh wait,
Wait,
I'm
what?
not really in the fantasy football league with them.
You do play football though.
I do flag football.
It's really impressive, I think.
It's true. True story.
Anyway, so let's talk about fantasy football.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is like the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah.
Now,
We're
so
getting down to the
Jenny's
wire.
Yeah, Jenny's versus Ruxin, Andre's versus AIDS is what they say, which is really Ted. I mean, these people, they kill me every time.
I love the inappropriateness. I just can't. I love it. I can't even.
It's so inappropriate and so constant, and they just like throw joke after joke after joke.
yeah.
And
They don't
when
let
I
up.
watch and I take notes, I literally have to pause so I can write
yeah.
down the joke. There's so
Oh.
many.
There's so many. You can't even like write them and remember them all.
No, I try and it just doesn't happen for me. So Pete is actually taking vacation days off from work because he doesn't want to end up in the Sacco, also
Right.
now called Ruxin.
I had a friend who did that, by the way. I'm like, hey, aren't you supposed to, my old roommate, aren't you supposed to be at work? He's like, it's basketball playoffs. I quit.
Exactly. So
This is real.
Right. I mean, his tactic, though, which is really smart if you think about it, is to follow all of his players on Twitter. So he knows, like, he was giving references to, like, okay, if they eat a Mexican meal, you know, they might be full and not run fast.
Hey, I get it. I think it makes sense.
It's real time.
It's real time. So so he's really focusing on finding Vernon Davis at this point, correct?
Oh, he's totally following Vernon Davis. It's, you know, he gives him as an example. And he's
Yeah.
like, look, Vernon Davis, you know, is getting a good night's sleep. So he might be playing really well.
Maybe play him tomorrow.
Exactly.
Or the next game.
Strategy. It's all about
Hey,
strategy.
makes sense.
So then Ruxin kind of screws with everyone.
Yeah.
And he
Obviously, as per the
obviously.
usual.
He's so, I think he's my favorite. Is he your favorite?
I don't know. It's so hard. They change every episode, but I did like Nick Kroll this episode.
He is my favorite because he delivers lines so deadpan that
yeah.
I feel like he's playing himself and like that this is real.
I know.
Which it may be because he's,
I also like Taco.
oh, he's good too. But
It's hard.
okay, well, we can each have our own favorites. So.
I know, but I like Ruxin too. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, we
Yeah.
digress. But so he then does something that's just not cool. He picks up and drops every single defense player because then no one could pick them up.
Right.
Because they go on the waiver wire. It's a 2-day thing and you can't do anything with
Strategy
it.
again.
And it's right before the game. So the bracket of time is
Yeah.
too small.
And so they're just, these players are just not, you can't touch them. Untouchable.
Right. Untouchable.
Strategy, loophole.
Yeah.
These are all things, if you play fantasy football, pay attention to these little nooks and crannies.
And leave it to the lawyer to figure that out.
Of course.
So simultaneously, because there's always a million storylines going on. I don't know how they fit all of this into a 30-minute episode.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
Very good.
So Ruxin and Sofia are trying to figure out, what religion baby Geoffrey is going to be.
Exactly.
Because she's Catholic and he's Jewish.
Yeah.
She's the mom, though, and in religion, I mean,
she's very, like, into her religion and her her family heritage, and that you can tell it means a lot to her, so she's not just willing to like let it go.
No,
she wants to make this happen.
Exactly. And so baby Geoffrey's in Catholic school right now because he didn't get into the Jewish school because when they were celebrating Sukkot and like did the whole thing, what were they doing in the Sukkot tent, like filming a porn or like something bad happened in that tent, and then the rabbi and everyone that were coming over to like inspect the house and make sure that they were really Jewish, as they said they were, saw and were like, absolutely not.
Like, that's not happening.
No. So anyway, Antonio Sabato Jr., I think, is playing the priest.
Yes.
Unless he just looks like him.
No, it's Antonio Sabato Jr.
Great. So,
and he was in the next episode as well.
Yeah, exactly. So he wants baby Geoffrey to play Jesus in the school play because it's Christmas, obviously. And Rafi is also in baby Geoffrey's life. And he teaches him about Catholicism all the time. And baby
Rafi
Geoffrey
likes to teach a lot about a lot of things and is never correct about any of his information.
No. In fact, Ruxin is in the bathroom doing his thing by himself. And baby Geoffrey swoops on in and was like wanting to have a conversation. And then Rafi comes in and Ruxin figures out Rafi's the one who taught him that it's okay to do that.
Right.
While you're...
Because Rafi then does it.
Right, and they're dump brothers.
Yeah, that's true.
So that makes sense then for baby Geoffrey to want to do that. And Ruxin is an antisocial shitter, as Rafi put it.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, no. He does not want to talk to anybody while that's happening. He needs to concentrate.
No. He wants to close the door like normal people do, but Rafi believes that there should never be a door closed because that's rude. It's just rude. Anyway, so... through everything, Ruxin's just like, enough of the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. He's calling in the tribe. So he throws a Hanukkah party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes for it.
He takes...
Go big or go home.
Exactly. So everyone comes and, it's just funny because Sofia has no clue about the Jewish religion at all.
She no. And that's, I think, what makes it funny. She's sort of kind of, she's a little like Sofia Vergara, like...
Yes,
that
she
cute,
is.
little clueless, like, okay. And she's, nice about it, but she's
like, happy Jewish Christmas. And then when the latkes were like coming out of the oven,
I love
she's like, Jewish tater tots.
Flattened Jewish pancake tater tots.
Oh, her. She's funny.
She's great.
And they make funny references throughout. Like Jenny's like, what's that hat on your head? And Ruxin's like, it's my kippah. But the funny thing about it is that he said that it always falls off. And they do always fall off. I'm not envious of men that have to wear them. They fall off your head.
I don't know how they get those things to stay.
Well, some people, I think, like have a pin.
I've seen pins.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Then also Rebecca Ruxin, Ruxin's sister, is there. And I love when they call each other, he calls her Rebbe.
Rebbe, yeah.
That's so Jewish.
I love that.
And she wears long skirts.
She totally is dressed like the stereotypical, like, good Jewish girl.
And she is one. So, well, they fight.
Yeah.
They fight. It's pretty funny. She calls him Rodman.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, they call
Rodney.
him. Yeah. It's pretty funny. And then the rabbi calls out Ruxin for his unethical fantasy football plays.
Well, I mean, they've got to have, someone's got to play by the rules. And if it's going to be anybody in this episode, it's going to be the rabbi.
And he makes Ruxin feel guilty and reverse everything he's done.
Yeah.
So.
And that's how that ended.
That is how that ended. Well, we've some other storylines going on at the same time.
No, that's how he...
Oh, yeah. The whole Judaism sums up there and the fantasy football is rectified.
Yeah.
So then at the same time, we have Andre, who is actually impersonating...
Poor Andre.
Vernon Davis on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
smart move, though.
So smart. And weird for Andre to be the one to, like,
I know,
somebody.
Right? Sometimes he surprises you.
He does. I mean, not his outfits. Those don't surprise me.
Oh, my God.
So
They surprise me. I mean, I know they're always going to be bad, but every time he's in a new scene, I'm like, what the... If it couldn't get any worse, it does every time. Like, that is an awful combination of colors and patterns, and it's horrible.
It's terrible. So he gets the bright idea, though, to mess with Vernon Davis's Twitter. He creates the account, plays like a joke on Pete, and then once Vernon Davis actually gets in on this joke, it takes it to the next level because Taco knows Vernon Davis because they are Eskimo brothers.
Oh, right. And then we see that kind of play out in the next episode as well.
Exactly.
I forgot that connection, yeah.
So it's funny because, you know, Taco's like, well, I know Vernon Davis. And Andre's like, no, you don't. And he's like, well, I know of Vernon Davis. It may not be the same Vernon Davis that you know. But it turns out, of course, it's the real Vernon Davis because they're Eskimo brothers. Vernon Davis is like, I'm getting in on this joke. They pretended that he had a broken leg. They put on a cast. They took a picture. So,
they went for it.
So Pete was like, I'm not playing Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis is injured. However, while they were watching the game, Vernon Davis was playing.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if Vernon Davis is playing, he can't be tweeting. And he was. And then Andre was like,
yeah. I loved it.
But I think that happened in the second one, right?
I don't know. They're meshing together at this point.
I know. It's just a lot of crossover, which
I
still don't know why they made it 2 episodes instead of just 1. But
I know.
They were genius.
They were great. They were hilarious.
Oh my God. But
good way to go out.
It was so great when Vernon Davis was like, why do you tweet that I have bedazzled jeans and like images of food and like recipes and stuff?
Yeah. Well, hey, because it was Andre.
Course.
So he's got to infuse a little Andre in there.
Oh, the best Andre line was when he was like, Vernon Davis, why don't we do a line of calf implants called the VD? And that's venereal disease, basically. But those are his initials. And Taco's like, VD isn't that bad. Oh, Taco. And then, you know, of course, while all this is going on, poor Kevin feels like something's going on with Jenny.
Yeah.
Because Pete sees Jenny with her ex-boyfriend,
Ben.
Record-breaking sex boyfriend, Ben.
Yeah. God, I wonder, I mean, that's a hard thing to know.
Yeah, and they don't know why they're hanging out and what's going on, but they seem really close.
Right.
And, you know, we find out
it's the lineup, helping with the lineup.
Because he shows up at the Hanukkah party.
But I feel like that would make him just as jealous.
Oh, and it did.
He
like, freaks out and he punches him because Ben shows up at the Hanukkah party.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he's more mad about the fact that he was helping Jenny and she let him help and not him with the lineup.
Exactly.
That was a lot of him.
Oh, and that is like his Achilles heel right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the end of this episode, he's pretty upset. He punches Ben, and then that is the end of this episode. So we move on now to the finale.
Aww.
And Ruxin lost because of his ethics. And he's in the Sacco.
Yeah.
Jenny won her game, and so she's in the Shiva Bowl.
Yeah.
And she's against who? Andre?
I don't know.
Or is she against Ted?
I honestly don't know who she's against. I don't remember that.
I don't know either.
Well, if you know, you can call us or you can tweet us. And while you're calling and tweeting and online perusing, you can rate and comment on iTunes. Both P words too. You can rate and comment and tell a friend. Keep the conversation going. I know this is our last episode here for the league, but we're coming back next season. We're bringing you some guests. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you want to see, and let us know if you're sad
that it's over. I mean, we are.
It's going to be really hard to go without this funny show.
Well, we could rewatch it.
We could. You could rewatch.
And you could rewatch the after shows.
Rewatch the after shows too, and you can still rate and comment and tell a friend and give us 5 stars.
Totally. Doesn't go away just because it's over.
Hey, we live forever on the internet.
Yeah. It's true.
Hashtag YouTube.
Hashtag. Love it. So, Kevin's really upset still about the whole thing. He refuses to go home. He stays with Pete.
That's right.
And I love the gay references. Or that they're in a,
they
they're
did that,
couple.
yeah. They did that like in the Andre style, how they always give him crap about taking it in the rear end.
Yep.
They did that here.
They did. They made some good jokes.
Yep.
So, you know, he's really mad at Jenny and he stays with Pete and they have conversations about like what they're going to have for dinner and like they end up sleeping together because
in the bed and then their feet touch and they get all up scared of yeah, that's funny.
And they're like, we'll never speak of this. But Kevin doesn't want to sleep on the couch because he hurt his back while brushing his hair too hard.
Yeah. I loved that. And he does have quite a coif of hair, so I could see
does.
how maybe that might be a little bit, excessive to take care of that mane.
He's really funny.
He could injure a shoulder. I like his hair.
I like his hair too.
I know, but it's borderlining on red a little. You like it? I know.
I know.
Changes.
I'm blinded by his comedy. I can't even stand it.
Can't.
It's so funny.
Love.
So Pete actually is really upset with Kevin, turns out, because he didn't tell him about the Vernon Davis whole con.
Right.
And they're best friends. You think that
They
he'd
would
be
share
helping
that
him,
and all, yeah.
but you can't. It's the code of fantasy football.
Gotta
And
keep that
Pete
stuff
and
secret.
Kevin were both in the Sacco.
Yeah.
So, Kevin didn't want to help Pete.
Of course not. This is a competition at the end of the day.
Right. And so, Kevin's just like, enough of this. I'm going home. So he goes home to Jenny.
Mm-hmm. He goes back to her.
Exactly.
And she welcomes him with open arms.
Oh, yeah.
She's
And
like,
she even lets him help her with the lineup.
It was cute. Well, it ended up backfiring a little bit.
A little bit. And then...
But it was still cute.
And then it works out for the best. So I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. I like that. And I like that she we've talked about this before. Jenny has to sort of let a lot of stuff roll off her back. And she, in this
The
situation,
montage they show of how he neglects her.
I know.
That was in the previous episode. But basically when she comes home from the grocery store and she's following him in the house and he closes the door on her. He just forgets she's there.
And she just she loves him no matter what. And I think that, she knew he was upset, but he came back and she was like, okay, it's fine. She wasn't still mad.
She's like, I missed you.
I know.
They're cute.
They are cute.
Also, going on in the same episode, which was hysterical to see Aziz play.
Oh, the doctor with the cut off sleeve scrubs.
Yes. So he's the number one doctor, number one plastic surgeon in Chicago, and Andre's the number two. And how they figured out a way to make it fair for both of them was one takes the upper part of the body and the other takes the lower part of the body. But Andre got upset when he saw that Aziz's Dr. Roca was now doing tobesity cases.
Oh, yeah, because it's stealing his thunder.
Exactly, because that's the lower part of the body.
And it's his thing.
Right. So turns out Aziz was like, why are we, having separate practices? We should have one practice.
Combine and hit him full force.
Exactly.
And then he tricked him.
Plastic mercury.
Say that. And then he tricked him into signing a contract that made him go to the, what did they call the
it was no child cleft behind.
Yeah, no child cleft behind. So he had to go to wherever this foreign country was.
El Salvador.
Yeah. And he of course tried to get Ruxin in on it, like, hey, help me try and get out of this contract, and there was no loopholes.
It was ironclad. So he really had to go to El Salvador had Dr. Roca not gotten injured.
Exactly.
But of course, it all comes full circle, and it worked out.
Right.
But a couple of funnier things that happened with that was they went from G.I. Joe to G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They were equally as nerdy and competitive.
Totally.
Oh, and when Dr. Roca fired his nurse because it was her birthday and she celebrated with cake, and he was like, we don't eat that.
Oh, yeah. And
then
her
he
pink
offered it.
scrubs, her bright scrubs.
I heard she had giant boobs.
And the scrubs were so tight.
Yeah.
I was like, that clearly has not been custom couture to her body.
Exactly. And that they're that crazy of doctors because he fired her regardless of how she looked.
Oh, yeah.
But because she was going to eat cake.
Oh, yeah.
And then he offered cake to Andre, and Andre was like, I'm going to eat that crap. He's like, yeah.
I know. Oh, their ridiculousness.
So
Funny.
ridiculous.
The stereotypes, they really just take it to the next level.
Yeah. So how Dr. Roca's hand gets crushed in the car happens because Rafi is obsessed with Ruxin's sister. Uh-huh. So as we mentioned, a few minutes ago, one of the things that Ruxin does so well or Nicole, is deliver lines so just deadpan. Mm-hmm. So when Rafi was like, listen, you made a promise to me that when I took your son to water survival class, and he's like, swim class. And he's like, water survival class. He's like, swim class. And it's just so quick.
Yeah.
That he would get to then sleep with Ruxin's sister.
Yep.
And so that happened, and he's like, I'm here to collect my debt.
Exactly. It's just there's no discussion. This is A plus B equals C, and I am having sex with her.
And she's in town, so.
And let's do this.
Yeah. So, after some funny jokes like that, she calls him, she says that Rafi is Ruxin's homeless friend.
Yeah. Hey, well,
not brother-in-law, not anything that would make sense.
I could see the confusion.
Totally. You know, they go back and forth about the whole thing. And then Ruxin's like, well, if you convert to Judaism, she'll sleep with you because that would make the most sense.
And he's like, oh.
Obviously.
Okay.
And it works out in his favor because baby Geoffrey learns a lot from Rafi, so he would learn Judaism.
Exactly.
And then you see them playing dreidel and like, oh, it was really
and then
cute.
isn't that when she kind of like goes, oh.
Yeah. She's into it.
Yeah, she likes it.
Well, she really likes it because she knows it'll really piss off Ruxin.
And that, of course, is what at first I was like, wait, is she kind of? And then I realized she was just doing it. They're both, just to spite him.
Right. Because in a million years, I don't think she would really go for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think she would.
So they are in TacoCorp van.
Yep.
And
that
van gets passed around. I mean, it gets...
passed around as much as Taco does.
Exactly. So they end up in the TacoCorp van. They're starting to do some things.
They're getting the motion to the ocean, and then they realize that the van is in motion.
Exactly. And she can't stop the van because it's Shabbat, and she cannot.
Oh, that's right. She's like, I can't. You got to do it. I can't.
She's like, I can't work today.
That was funny.
It's so smart. The things that every line, it's like, I feel like is and the at are the only words that are not a joke in the entire script.
And maybe or. Otherwise, everything's a joke.
It's so, I would love to get my hands on a script.
Hello. Oh my God. Can you imagine those table reads? Ugh. Hilarious.
How can we go to one?
I want to. It's over now. Ooh, next season.
Yeah, we'll try for season 6, guys.
That's right.
We'll really pull for that.
We'll bring you some inside scoop.
Totes. So they then roll into, of course, Dr. Roca's red Porsche.
And that's when his hand gets squished.
Yep. Really funny.
And of course, the one thing that that would ruin a plastic surgeon's career is
his hand.
Smashing of the hands.
So he can never work again. And Andre now doesn't have to leave.
That's right. Saves the day.
Exactly. So,
Rafi is always saving the day somehow.
Always. So TacoCorp, as we mentioned, its latest product. Mm-hmm. I mean, its latest business is just, it looks like an office, but it's called the EBGB? EBDB.
Oh, EBDB.
A play on the EBGB.
Yeah.
And that stands for Eskimo Brothers Database, which is kind of smart if you think about it, except that it's a binder full of paper.
And it's like, and then he takes the binder and he puts it like on the computer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't put my files in the computer. So.
Oh, Taco.
His tagline is, you bag it, we tag it.
Yep.
Pretty funny.
I think it's actually, there's always a little bit of intelligence behind Taco's
Absolutely.
ideas. He just executes them in a dumb way.
Absolutely. Of course, he gets locked out of his van in the little video that they show his ad for his business.
What are they going to do with that van next year?
I don't know, but it was just in an accident, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
maybe that's their way of getting it out. But I hope not, because I kind of like it.
Speaking of getting out, Ruxin finds out from Taco that the priest is Eskimo Brothers with Taco.
Oh, that's right.
And that's how this whole thing comes full circle, because we see them in church.
Yeah.
Jenny finds out she won.
And she's like so excited.
Because she almost didn't win.
Uh-huh.
And that would have been Kevin's fault because of his advice.
But then
she got 8 points, which was she then said she was going to convert to Judaism because it was like Hanukkah, 8 days of Hanukkah. Yeah. But it was the 8 defensive points of Hanukkah.
That's right.
So then we also find out simultaneously that poor Pete, poor Kevin is the Ruxin.
Yeah.
And in that same house is the Shiva and the Ruxin.
It's like all of it.
I was wondering actually how that would turn out if they were the winner and the loser of the league in one house.
I guess you just, they're divided anyway.
It's going to make for a great season 6.
Totally.
They set that up so well. And we also know that Ruxin's trying to get baby Geoffrey to be Jewish, and so he makes the priest do whatever he wants. Yeah. So he brings in the black choir.
I love
it. It's like the black choir. It's
they were like singing the fantasy football lingo.
Yeah, about Kevin losing.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so great,
amazing.
I mean, I don't know how
Ruxin
they would have known.
Dancing. Oh my gosh, how funny was it watching him dance?
He's such a cute little weirdo.
I know.
He's so weird. But that was a great episode, I thought.
I loved it. I loved the end. I loved that they made Jenny win. And I thought that, of course, Ruxin was happy to give over the trophy. And, And they were setting some stuff up as they always do for the next season. And I was sad to see it go, but I was definitely laughing because at the hilarity of the episode.
So funny. I think I may watch it again on Christmas just because
it's very Christmassy.
Yeah, exactly. We watch Christmas movies over and over
again.
Instead
of watching A Christmas Story, you can watch the last episode of The League.
I think it's
start a new tradition.
Yeah, it's a good idea, I think, Lauren.
I know. Hey.
And so since this was the last episode, we don't have any news and gossip.
Oh, it's just
except that we're going to have everyone on next season.
Next season, tune in, please, because we are in talks with the actors, and we are getting them in for you guys.
They're excited about it. They can't wait. They would have been here this season, but we sort of got them toward the end.
Yeah, we ran out of time, but we have next season, so please make sure you watch The League on FXX and tune in to our after show at AfterBuzz TV.
Do it. We'll be here, and we can't wait for season 6.
It was a fun season.
So much fun. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, and my website.
And I'm Jenifer Golden. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen the Jew, on my website, jenifergolden.com, on Facebook, Jenifer Golden, and here.
Yeah.
All the time.
Here all the time as well for dads.
Dad's Tuesday, actually.
Okay, all right, guys.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining
us. Season.
Yeah. Oh, sad.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.